Om
Shri
Shri Sadguru
Sadguruve
Maharaj. Hello, viewers. As you know, recently we have started a series of talks on Santmat in English, in the sequence of which we had been discussing the true nature of God. So far, we have had 7 episodes of these talks. And due to certain preoccupations, the release of or the production of the 8th session has been postponed. It could not be organized. And I was thinking of resuming it, but as coincidence would have it, say today we were visited by one of my closest friends. He's just like my brother, and he's a very, say, revered satsangi. He visited our house, and say we were having discussions. So it occurred to me that why not have at least one, say, such mutual conversation recorded and be shared with you. So he has a question to ask, and we'll have discussion on that. So I'll introduce to you Mr. Kameshwar Prasad Singh. Respected Sri Kameshwar ji had, as a very recently retired as Deputy General Manager Civil Engineering from Western Coalfields Ltd, Coal India Limited, Government of India Public Sector. And he has been a devout satsangi, very zealous, very active and dynamic. So I welcome you, Kameshwar ji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Shri Sadguru Maharaj ki Jai. Sir, my question is, why should we worship God? What would happen if we do not worship God or worship anyone else?
A very pertinent question, Kameshwarji, because this is a question that often comes to our mind, to any inquisitive mind, that why sants, why sages, why our sacred scriptures lay so much of emphasis on worshipping God, on practicing devotion to God. What would happen if we do not do that? Now, one question before we answer this question, let us ask ourselves that what is it that we expect of our lives? Okay, every day we engage in one or other type of endeavors. Okay, we might belong to different fields, different walks of life, and accordingly, our obsessions, our endeavors, our efforts could be in different directions. But whatever we might be doing, or for that matter, whatever any living creature on this earth does, what is the sole objective of his or her actions? If we ask this question, then what would be the answer? I think you will agree that whatever we do is or results from our desire to have happiness,
Yes.
to have peace, to have contentment. Whatever we do, ultimately, we think that whatever I am doing will somehow give satisfaction, give pleasure, give contentment to me, give peace to me. Why this? Even if we ask, why does a thief commit stealth? Okay, why does he steal? Then the answer would be that because he thinks that this is the way he could earn wealth, which would make him and his family happy. All the, say, be it birds, be it cattle, be it any other creature, say from the daybreak, whatever they are doing, it say is guided by their desire to get happiness, to get peace. Now the question is that though we want peace from our efforts, what is the actual status of things? What is the state of affairs? that what we get out of the efforts that we make, does it yield everlasting bliss, permanent contentment, satisfaction? Then naturally the answer would be no, definitive no. And another thing is that what we do in our desire, in our pursuit of happiness or peace, we seek things from this world.
Yes.
Okay. We want everlasting pleasure. We want everlasting bliss. But we want that from things and people that inhabit this world. And we have seen in our previous discussions that this whole creation and many other creations, many other universes that could exist, they are limited. Okay, they are bounded. They have their beginning and they have their end. Now, something that is finite, how could it give infinite or everlasting? Something that is going to last for a limited period of time. That time span could be, say, small or big, but the span is there, it is fixed, and it is going to end somewhere. Then that which is limited in its scope, how it could give unlimited pleasure. Okay, anything, suppose we eat something, say very nice recipe we have. Okay, while we are partaking of that, it gives us pleasure. Okay, because it's very tasteful and we relish it. Moment we have eaten it, then that taste is gone. Its memory remains. Okay, what we say have is the memory. We remember this. Yes, I had a really nice dish, but that taste has gone. Now, what scriptures say, what sages say, that is there any other way which would leave that taste of bliss permanently existing? Okay, the taste which never leaves you and which is perfect. Two things are there. The types of pleasure that we get here, they are not perfect, they are not complete, and they are neither everlasting. That is one. And where we are seeking it, from whom we are trying to get this? From the world, from the worldly people, from the worldly thing. I think that this mobile, if I purchase a high-end mobile, it will give me satisfaction. I often give an example to say concerned population that suppose I get pleasure out of such electronic gadgets or automobiles, and because my finances don't allow me, it leaves an unsatisfied desire within me. But somehow, if I happen to get that much of fund with me, company has given bonus or something like that, then I have ordered the latest, say, iPhone and latest, say, 70-inch TV, say, Super AMOLED TV of Sony, and about a car which would cost, say, 40, 50 lakh of rupees. I'm ordered. And as chance would have, all of the three things have arrived on the same day. Now, just think of the happiness that would result. How elated I feel. And I am sitting in my office where courier man has delivered me the phone. I have a good look. And while I am having a look at it, I get my phone rings again. And this is a phone from my car company. And they say, sir, your car is ready for delivery. Come and collect it. Okay, and I get another phone from my home where my wife tells me that the technician has come and is installing the TV which you had ordered. Now I immediately call, okay, keep say lunch ready. Car is also, I am going to get the delivery, and just after having lunch, we'll go on a long ride. Kids are so happy. I am happy with my phone, looking at its resolution, its camera quality, etc., etc. And then I rush to the say car shop, and from there get the delivery, reach my house where my wife and kids are ready. Say they do all that say rituals that are necessary. to say ensure a good life of the car. And then we enter into our house and the dish is served, and I have had two say morsels of that and say, ah, what a food you have prepared today, a real classic one. And then my son switches on the TV and array, how good is the resolution? Oh, wow, crystal clear, crisp images. And the kids say, Papa, Papa, let's have lunch, say quickly so that we could go on ride. So everybody in the house is so happy. Happiness, say, is almost boundless. And it is then that the same phone which was delivered to me and which I was so happy to receive rings. And I get a call. I immediately leave the dining table, wash my hand. Kids come running. What happened, Papa? Why did you not finish it? Please do it. When they say tell the same thing over and over again, then I get irritated and immediately order them very rudely to switch off the TV, the same TV that I myself was having interest in having a look at. And then wife comes out from the kitchen. What happened? Why are you so angry and upset? After a repeated, insistent questioning, I tell her that I got a call from one of my relatives, and one of our very close relatives, he expired in an accident, and the whole mood is subdued. Now the kids don't even dare to ask that, Papa, are we going for the ride? Everybody is so sad. Now the question is that if the happiness was there in cell phone or in television set or in the car, then all of these are in the food, taste of delicious recipes, then all of these are very much there right now in front of me, with me. But why they are not giving the pleasure that they were giving just a few moments earlier? If we ask this question, that if the happiness lies in these things, then that should have been right now also. Why did it disappear? Where did it elope? If we make an honest inquiry, what would we say? That no, now the state of mind is not like it used to be a few minutes earlier. What does that mean? State of mind. Where does the mind live? It's my mind. It lives within me, okay, within this body. That is, where is the happiness? It is not in things without, it actually lies within. And what we see without in objects or persons outside is a reflection of that peace which lies within. Just like there were people looking for a golden necklace in water in a pond, and as they would plunge into the pond, the necklace would disappear. And again, if they waited for some time, it reappeared. And as soon as they jumped into the waters, again it disappeared. And a wise person who happened to pass by, he had a look upwards and saw that the necklace was hanging from the branch of tree whose shadow, whose reflection was falling on the water, and people were looking for the presence of that necklace in the water. And as they jumped into it, the water got disturbed and the image was destroyed. Similarly, the peace lies within, and its reflection falls in the things and persons outside, and we come under delusion, illusion, that actually those things or the world outside will give me pleasure, and keep on hankering after it, running after it from pillar to post, from day to night, and end up our whole life, a precious life. And another thing, that however, say, high-ended or of exceptional quality these devices or the persons could be, for how long they are going to last. They have got a definite life. We have seen that anything that is born, that has a beginning, has to die or has to end. So anything in this whole universe, the very universe itself, it began, as the science would tell us, with a big bang. And when we say that it began with a big bang, what does that mean? That before the big bang happened, the universe did not exist. So anything here, big or small, okay, gigantic or tiny, it has got a definite life, a definite capacity, and that which is limited in essence, how that can give us unlimited pleasure, unlimited happiness, unlimited, say, contentment. We can get infinity from an infinite thing only. We can get perfect bliss from only such an entity who himself is perfect. And we have seen in our discussions at length that there is only one such entity which is infinite in terms of time, in terms of space, and which is perfect, free of any kind of defect. And that is what we call as God or Khuda or Allah or by various, say, Ishwar or Paramatma or by any many other names. The names could differ, but the entity that it exists cannot rule out. And somehow, if we could establish our identity with that infinite being, then we are bound to get that infinite qualities that are associated. Everything what we want, suppose even if we have worldly desires, our desires are mundane. Okay, I am not after, say, salvation, I am not after liberation. I want, say, very limited type of things which are though temporary or evanescent or, say, impermanent. But the question will be that everything, anything and everything is contained within that infinity, is ruled over by that infinity. So all that exists here is within his control. It would be like, say, if we approach the king or the ruler of a particular country or kingdom, then whatever is his will become ours only, will be there at our disposal also. Similarly, God is the king of the whole universe and he is everywhere. We have seen he is all pervading. So there is nothing where he is not there. So everything lies within him, is controlled by him, and is available with him. So even if we have some worldly desires and we are seeking it from worldly people, then they have got their limited capacity to give. Like, say, for example, let us ask that I have 10 lakh rupees with me, and somebody comes to me asking for help, 5 lakh rupees. Now, naturally, a normal person would think that if I give him 5 lakh rupees, I lose 50% of my possessions. But suppose I am, say, very, very generous at heart, I am ready to give all that I have. So, at the best, how much I can give? All that I possess, 10 lakh. But if somebody comes to me and asks that I want 5 crore rupees, then even if I want to help him by, say, applying for loans, okay, by borrowing it from some of the financial institutions, okay, apart from what I already possess, even if I go all out, okay, even out of the way, then how much I can give to him? It's beyond my capacity to help him. Then how would I be able to help him? Similarly, say, if we read the stories that are there in our scriptures, then we'll find that people have gone through penances, tap, that is called, very, say, hard, okay, very strict remorses they have gone through, very strict penances they have gone through, and resulting from their such practice, devotional practice, this deity or that deity, this god or that goddess gave him his darshan, okay, that is manifested himself before him, and say that I am very pleased with you, with your devotion, with your worship. Ask what is it you want. And then that person who has carried us such a strict devotion, now he asks that I want to be immortal. Okay, I don't want to die. So bless me with immortality. And if we go through all these stories, what we'll find? The answer in each and every case is a flat no, isn't it? What they say, no, ask for anything else. This I can't give. What I can't give? Immortality. Now, if we ponder at this, that why they can't give it? Is it because they don't want to give it? Or it is because they cannot give it? Then we'll find that the devotee is so devoted to him that whatever is within the rights of that god or goddess is willing to give. But this immortality, no, it's beyond his reach, because he or she who himself is a mortal being, okay, he might be enjoying a lifespan of say several lakhs or millions of years, but he is bound to die. So he or she who himself or herself is mortal, how he can give blessing of immortality? Similarly, anything that is finite, limited in extent, how it can guarantee, how it can assure of giving or delivering permanent or perfect or everlasting bliss or contentment? This only that entity is capable of giving, who himself is perfect, who himself is limitless, infinite, and he has everything that has to be given or could be given. That who is immortal, without a beginning and end, he only can give, or say, he only can bless us, bestow upon us that immortality, isn't it? Yes. So, therefore, if we want a real bliss, if we want full contentment, then where would we go? Having expectations of this world, people or things worldly, then it is bound to result in disappointment. Because blessings could be mesmerizing, they could be supernatural, but they cannot be everlasting. The everlasting, that wealth which never erodes, which never decays, which never lessens, which remains as it is for all the time, for eternity, that is only that infinite being. And there, not only this, the other, what we say, collateral or accessory benefit of this is that in order to be one with that infinity, the say activities, the actions that we have to perform, which is known as devotion, as you mentioned, or worship. What is worship or devotion? God does not need anything. He has everything. Everything is His only. So He has no desires, no demands. So there is simply nothing that we can give to Him, because if I am giving you something, that means that is not yours. I am giving it to you. Everything is His only. So what we are going to offer Him? Everything is His and His only. So there is simply nothing that we could offer. He is pleased because, say, just like our kids, okay, if they come to us and in their stammering voices, they try to say something, then how pleased are the parents? That see, he has started speaking. So similarly, when he sees the very desire in us to approach him, to come to him, he becomes pleased. It's not that he desires something. Now, the all it takes to reach him, to practice a devotion, is it demands certain prerequisite behaviors in us. That is, we have to abstain from all those don'ts. Okay, that is the acts which are proscribed. That is, we have to promise, we have to take an oath not to steal, not to lie, not to commit violence. Okay, so all such things, if we abstain from all the vices that we forsake or abandon, and we have a firm resolve to to be steadfast on the path of virtuosity, on the righteousness, then what will happen? That one thing we are reaching towards Him. Okay, we are going to receive immeasurable bliss, unexpected, unforeseen bliss, contentment, satisfaction. That is one that is going to happen in the future. But right now, when we are practicing that, then all those that live around us, they also know. Okay, because everybody observes everybody else. So naturally, people will hold us in very high esteem. That see, this person is a righteous person, is a virtuous person. He is always keen to help others. He has got a pure heart. Okay, so you get respect in this society also. Your life in this world is also say very good. And what most of the people, as you're telling a bit earlier, most of the people what they don't realize is that we have a life that is much longer than this after this life ends. Okay, this is a very limited span that we see this body is going to have. Naturally, I am not this body. Okay, if somebody asks you or me, what is this? Then what we say, this is my body. These are my hands. This is my mouth. These are my eyes. All these are mine like this. This, as a jacket is mine, so I cannot be jacket. This shirt is mine. I cannot be the shirt. I am the owner of this. Similarly, when I say this is my body or this is my mind, this is my intellect, then I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am not the intellect. Then who am I? Is the trillion or quadrillion dollar question. We know about everybody else except me alone. I don't know who am I. I know my body. I know the whole of the world, but I don't know who I am. And this is the most gravest question. Okay. So as I said, that right now I am speaking, you are listening. Both of us are being seen, and people will be watching as soon as it is posted on YouTube. So we are behaving like, say, living beings, animated, say, entities. But what happens if we die? This mouth is there, tongue is there, but it cannot speak. Eyes are there, they can't see. Ears are there. So, what we come to experience, what we come to believe, that there was something that lived in this body, and so long as that lived in this body, we were behaving like this body was behaving like a conscious body. Okay, an awakened body, an animated body. And that's something, when it leaves, then this becomes dead like a log of wood. Then that which leaves this body on death, where does it go? Do we take pains to know about that? On what is the journey that will happen once that indwelling spirit leaves, where it will go, in what type of state it will have to live? That is how our afterlife is going to be. If we practice devotion, then this worldly life that we live so long as this body is there is also good. And at the same time, when we practice that meditation or worship, then we take care of that afterlife also. Okay, so that is why, from all possible angles, if we look at it, if we practice devotion to God, then whatever we want from our lives will naturally be available to us, and we live happily in this world and ever after. So I hope you will agree or not. Kameshwarji is a very old satsangi. If I remember correctly, it was in 2007 that he sought initiation from Revd Swami Achyutanand ji Maharaj, mainly now lives at Kolkata, and he is going to complete 95 years, say in the coming February 2023. So he is, say, he is the eldest living disciple of Sadguru Maharshi Mehi Paramhans ji Maharaj, and because of his spiritual leanings, okay, that lay dormant in him for many years, and when it awoke, then since then he has never looked behind, and he is one of our very active satsangis who is always keen to spread the love and the message of Santmat. So I really thank you that you gave me the opportunity, and I really enjoyed this. And thank you, viewers. I hope you would have liked it. So thank you very much. Jai Guru, Radha Swami, Satyaram Sa, Namaste.